Good morning, it's 8 AM and welcome to Bastia, Corsica, a jewel of an island and territory of France. It is the only major French island in the Mediterranean. I have just arrived off this ferry, the Pascal Lotta from Toulon, which you could see in my previous video of my adventure right the way across Europe, from London to Sicily. Now, let's explore Bastia, starting here at the beautiful old marina. One thing I love about being a tourist off-season is I am literally the only person here and have the whole place to myself. And with that, welcome to Carl's Travel Channel, where every journey costs less than £200. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And always remember, the nearest exit may be behind you. Today we explore Bastia, but also out of town, on the little train, and even a sneaky bus ride. From here at the beautiful marina, it is the historic heart of the town, with the citadel up there on the hill behind. What appears to be a local pleasure boat here, the Corse Corsica. I wonder where this goes. Curiosity got the better of me, and from a quick Google search, you could take the boat up to the top tip of the island for €75 for a 4-hour ride. Here along the quayside, the last signs of morning dew and moisture are clearing, and there is a myriad of bars and restaurants. I liked the relaxed atmosphere, and there were no touts trying to hurry you inside places. Ahead in the corner is the beautiful church of St John Baptiste. I am definitely looking forward to returning here tonight and trying some of these bars and cafes out. I can imagine a thriving, bustling nightlife scene along here, packed with tourists. Well, you will see for yourself later in the video. A very moving memorial here I found on the wall, complete with photos to the 50,000 American soldiers who were lost in the Battle of Corsica during World War II. It's time to slowly head back towards the port and city centre, and there are even more bars and restaurants along here, and some creperies. Also some pizza restaurants. There does seem to be some Italian influences on the island. And now I have seen that, it's firmly stuck in my mind. I need to return here for a pizza tonight. So, let's do it. You could come on a date with me. A quick, stunningly beautiful view here over the rocks and lighthouse. I then spy my first glimpse at my hotel for tonight, the Hotel Ponte Leccia, just nestled over there. Back in the city centre, this really is very different. It reminds me more of a big city, London-style underpass, rather than an exotic island. And wow, what is going on over here? There is a whole residence for pigeons, many of them fast asleep, basking here in the sunshine. Well, I best not disturb their little house. Let's carry on along my way. This cool bridge here, which takes you across the underpasses, with a nice view one side to the port and the city centre over there on the other to the left. Once back here in the city centre, there is a huge monument to Bastia's most famous resident. I will give you a clue. He was often regarded as a very handsome warrior. Nope, not me, but Napoleon Bonaparte. I was then beginning to have a bit of an emergency crisis, and I think my blood sugar was dropping due to the early start and too much caffeine. Luckily, after almost passing out, I made it into this local eatery and enjoyed a nice, if not slightly extravagant lunch. However, it was very good and only cost €12.80. Sadly, in my almost passed out state, I forgot to take a picture or video of it. Anyhow, the food really did the trick. So I'm back on track, and I'm going to continue my journey to the railway station without having to abandon. So here it is, and the station forecourt area. Now let's head inside the glamorous looking concrete railway building. Firstly, I need to purchase my ticket, since I have booked nothing in advance. But before we go inside, there is a nice view here of both platforms, and as you can see, there is no train yet docked. Purchasing the ticket inside was very easy from the helpful man at the desk. I'm sadly in my records unable to find the exact price of the ticket, but I think it was about €10 return. So let's now head back through the departure hall and onto the platforms. A nice logo in here for the local football team, SC Bastia. We'll hear more about them later on. And here she arrives, U Trinichellu, or Little Train. The front of the train reminds me of the Class 221 Super Voyagers from back home. These were not manufactured by Bombardier, however. They were built by CFD in France and shipped to the island from Marseille. Now on board, let's take a little look around the nice carriage. As you can see, the chairs are very well padded, and the train is comfortable and modern inside. So, here we go. The train departs dead on the scheduled departure time of 11:11 AM. My plan is to ride the train from here in Bastia to Ponte Leccia, but as you will see on the journey, there will be a bit of a hitch en route, because, just like back home, there will be a rail replacement bus service. The train rattles a little as we cross the network of points on leaving the station, and the glorious sound of the diesel engine kicks into action. As we emerge from the tunnel, we pass through the first intermediary station stop of Lupino, a beautiful little halt with what appears to be a classic old signal box, sadly spoiled somewhat at present by graffiti. I do not recall exactly from the day, but it would appear from the video we did not stop here. Maybe some of these are request stops. If you know, please let me know in the comments below. Now, as we pass through one of the most beautiful sections of line along the beach, I will give you some history on Corsica's railways. Nestled between rugged mountains and the Mediterranean Sea, Corsica's railway history is as dramatic as its landscape. The island's rail network, known as Chemin de Fer de la Corse, was born in the late 19th century, with construction beginning in 1888 under French rule. The goal was ambitious: to connect remote mountain villages with coastal towns, overcoming harsh terrain with tunnels, viaducts and tight curves. By 1935, over 230 kilometres of narrow-gauge track wound through the island, linking Ajaccio, Bastia and Calvi. Despite challenges from landslides to wartime damage, the railway endured, becoming a vital lifeline for islanders and an iconic feature for tourists. Today, the U Trinichellu, or Little Train, still chugs along these scenic routes, carrying passengers through the breathtaking Corsican vistas you can see here, and keeping this unique slice of history alive. We then pull into the station for Bastia's main stadium, here at Furiani, where tonight there will be a big match for the local football team, SC Bastia, playing Nice in the French Cup. It's a 16,000 seat stadium, and you can see one of its large stands just emerging in the distance there. The best look at the stadium from the train is just coming up after the station. Tonight, many fans will no doubt be taking this train to the stadium, plus the bars of Bastia will be filled with people watching the football, just like back home. I will soak in some of this atmosphere in a bar in Bastia myself, later on. Then calling at Borgo Station, or the Borgo Halt, a beautiful little station lined by these trees. This is not actually too far from the Bastia International Airport, where sadly at present there are no flights direct to the UK, but there are during summer. One other observation here, however, the stations do not appear to have any obvious signs as to where you are. This can certainly be very confusing, especially for tourists. Between 2007 and 2009, the Chemin de Fer de la Corse introduced these new AMG 800 series trains, Autorails Avoir, Patrick, Grand Comfort, crafted by CFD Bagnaire, formerly known as Soulé. These state-of-the-art diesel multiple units were designed to replace the ageing bubble cars. We will see one of these later on. Each AMG 800 unit comprises two cars, powered by twin Deutz V8 engines, enabling them to adeptly navigate the island's steep gradients and tight curves. These trains accommodate up to 105 passengers, offering 88 seated places and 16 fold-down seats. Passengers benefit from air-conditioned cabins and expansive panoramic windows, as you can see here. We then pull into the station at Casamozza, where today's train journey will be giving up the ghost. From here, as scheduled for today, we'll be on a bus. Ooh, exciting, I cannot wait. Off the train, you can see on the end of the carriage here the model number of AMG 807. It's time to head over and find the rail replacement bus service. It really does remind you of back in England, where trains not working are a sad, everyday occurrence. And here is the coach, a nice looking old vehicle operated by Grissoni Autocars. Wow, the engine starting right on cue for the camera. As you can see here from looking around inside the vehicle, it really does hark back to the past, this coach, and the seats are so worn out, they're almost horizontally flat, some of them laying right back at bizarre angles. And so, here we go. Everything so far today has been very impressively punctual. Top marks for Corsica's railways. I have noticed, however, in the current schedule, the rail replacement bus service has gone and a train now seems to be back. However though, this is not necessarily a huge benefit because the third train departure of the day, the 11 AM one from Bastia that I took today, seems to have made a disappearing act, and there are now only early morning and evening departures instead, at 8 AM and at 6 PM. It may well have been, however, a blessing in disguise coming on this coach, since the scenery from it is absolutely fantastic. And we will see some sights from the coach that you cannot see on the train, including the railway's most famous viaduct. The Corsican railway network, Chemin de Fer de la Corse, is a remarkable feat of engineering, born in the late 19th century to conquer the island's rugged and mountainous terrain, as seen here. Construction began in 1877, and the first section between Bastia and Corse opened in 1888, eventually extending to Ajaccio by 1894. The network was built to meter gauge, allowing it to snake through narrow valleys and across steep slopes, requiring over 30 tunnels and more than 50 viaducts, including the iconic Vecchio Viaduct, designed by Gustave Eiffel himself, as seen here passing us by on the coach. It's a shame we are not on the iconic scenic road that runs down there beneath it. The railway system comprises two main lines, the east-west Bastia-Ajaccio route, which we are on now, and the northern branch from Ponte Leccia to Calvi, offering both essential transport links and breathtaking views. During World War II, sections of the network were damaged by Allied bombings and sabotage, particularly around key bridges and tunnels, leading to temporary closure and difficult repairs in the post-war years. Although plans for southern expansion to Bonifacio were abandoned, the existing network endures as a vital lifeline for local communities and its unique way to experience Corsica's dramatic landscape. We now pull off piste here into one of the currently closed stations en route. This is Ponte Novo. The station opened in February 1888. Beyond its charming facade, the area holds profound historical significance. It was near here in May 1769 that the Battle of Ponte Novo took place, marking the end of the Corsican Republic and leading to France's annexation of the island. Luckily, now some of the passengers have alighted. You can see on the camera here on the other side of the vehicle one of the fantastic old railway viaducts that's currently being renovated. And another look around the interior of the coach inside. The seats remind me of those old angled business class seats on an aircraft. And we make it to the station car park of our destination, Ponte Leccia. Nestled in the heart of Corsica, Ponte Leccia is a charming mountain village that serves as a gateway to the island's rugged interior. Surrounded by lush forests and winding rivers, which we'll see in a moment, this small town offers a glimpse into authentic Corsican life, with its traditional stone houses and friendly local atmosphere. It's a hub for outdoor adventurers, perfectly positioned near hiking trails, natural swimming pools and scenic mountain routes. I decided to make this my furthest point on today's journey, just to simply show you how to get here by train and enjoy the nice journey either way. A look at the Gar, or Ponte Leccia railway station, and its buildings. We'll come back to that a little later on. And here is the other AMG multiple unit, waiting and ready to take passengers on their way to Ajaccio, but alas, sadly I will not be going there today. And a poster here of the funding the line has received during its recent renovation project. More on that later. Now let's do what I came here for and walk around and enjoy the beautiful mountain scenery. I know you are really going to hate this bit, because whenever I put the scenery into a video, people stop watching. Now let's go and have a walk over here and take in the beautiful views of this fast-flowing river. This river being the Asco. here stands almost a crossroads to Corsica, with every major city signposted, excluding Ajaccio. Let's take a little walk up over the bridge, but sadly today we don't have time to go too far. There are no signs of any modern buildings here at all. It really has been very well preserved. Sadly though, all good scenery things must come to an end, and it's time to head back to the station, as you really do not want to miss one of the 3 departures per day. And I believe sadly now, since March 2025, that is only 2. Approaching back to Ponte Leccia station, up here is an old abandoned bubble car. It almost looks like an old world abandoned goods yard, but it's still an active station. However, it's absolutely fantastic to see it. Another bubble car over there, sadly suffering from some graffiti. This station opened its doors on the February 1st, 1888, as a pivotal junction in Corsica's railway network. The station building ahead was renovated in 2010. And presumably just round the corner there is our rail replacement coach, waiting to take us back. I will give you a little 360-degree view here of the station and its surroundings, though sadly you'll have to look at me in the process. Oh, there I am. Ah yes, I can spy the connecting train over there arriving from Ajaccio. Back on the coach, and surprisingly it's a different vehicle to earlier on. You wouldn't have thought they would need more than one on this route. A final look as we depart over the town of Ponte Leccia, with a few of its bars, restaurants and shops. Crossing back over the bridge, I walked up earlier on, and wow, what a stunning view. It looks even better from the coach. And you get a more up close view here of some of the houses and villas. They do look very nice. The town has a really small population of only 1,100 and sits at the confluence of the Asco and Golo rivers. This here that we are following on the coach journey is the River Golo, which flows out all the way to the Mediterranean. There are various weirs and dams here along the river, and a section of rapids here with fast flowing rocks. The railway line is over there somewhere on the left side of the river. I think you could just about make it out. The railway stretch between Ponte Leccia and Casamozza is a vital segment of Corsica's main line, linking the island's interior to the northeastern coast. This 25-kilometre section traverses very challenging terrain, necessitating numerous engineering feats, including the historic Musel and Asco bridges, both constructed in the late 19th century. In recent developments from November the 18th, 2024 and March the 16th, 2025, this line underwent significant renovations to reinforce these ageing structures, ensuring continued safety and reliability for passengers. The restoration efforts were crucial in preserving the line's integrity, given its importance in connecting communities and facilitating travel across Corsica's rugged landscape. We pass back one of those bridges here at Musel, which is currently under renovation works. I'm sure it'll be a great view from this line once it's reopened again, and certainly save a lot of time and hassle. It does look as though an extensive rebuild to the bridge has taken place here. This €15 million project, co-financed by the Collectif de Corse under the Plan Exceptionnel d'Investissement, focused on renovating 5 historic bridges dating back to the late 19th century. The viaducts of Asco, Musel, Casamozza, Prunelli and Albano. The restoration included repairing masonry, reinforcing metal structures, restoring anti-corrosion protections and replacing decking. These efforts were essential to preserve the unique technical heritage of the island's railway network while ensuring the safety of its users. It's during these works that this rail replacement bus was brought in to serve any people still travelling. The successful completion of these renovations allowed for the resumption of regular train services on March the 17th, 2025, which was after this video was filmed, reinstating the crucial transport link to Corsica. scenery over the mountains of the island. Are you able to sit back and watch it for a bit? Go on, I dare you. I know it's difficult. It's alright, it will only be for 25 seconds, but it'll be a good test of your viewing skills, and I've tried to work out why people do not like scenery on YouTube videos. Somewhere near here is the popular local tourist attraction of Carriolu, a small imaginary model village. From the photos, it does look quite fascinating, but alas, no visit here today. And in a flashback to Groundhog Day, we're pulling into the same station car park we were at earlier at Ponte Novo. A cool decorated roundabout here. I wonder if it's some more leftover Christmas decorations. Almost reaching the final destination for the coach, a final look around inside, and alas, this one was more comfortable without those rather humorous lie-flat seats in the one earlier on. Time for a quick, literal crossing over the railway tracks onto the train. Interesting to note, the word danger is the same in both English and French. Apparently it's pronounced danger instead. Maybe you can let me know if I'm right in the comments below. Anyhow, we're nice and safely on board, so here we go. I assume the small signs by the track that say AMG are where the cars should position themselves to stop. At this point in the day, due to the very early start on the ferry, you could see episode 2 for that. I am feeling very tired and cannot wait to get to my hotel. Not long to go now, I hope, and I will show you around it when I get there. Here where the lines cross over and meet at the points works, you get a good view of this metre gauge, unusual railway track gleaming in the evening sun. It is an all single track line, except crossover points, such as here. One thing I forgot to show you earlier was the legroom. Not bad at all really, quite generous and comfortable. And little footrests too. Chugging back on U Trinichellu, this time I decide to sit on the countryside side of the train to get a nice view over the rolling hills of Corsica. Now, are you able to watch the scenery for another 20 seconds? I can find out in the stats for the video later on. Oh well, this has been spoiled by the ghastly line-side bushes. I make it back to Bastia. Now let's head to my hotel. A surprising route march across town with many commuters from the train. I was surprised how busy it was on board. Now just around this corner, with any luck, should be my hotel. And yes, here it is. The Hotel Ponte Leccia. I will head inside and check in, and then I'll see you in my bedroom in a moment. A very friendly check-in and reception, who couldn't be any more helpful? So, here we are, and for the price I paid, this really does look excellent value for money. A nice comfy double bed with reading lights, and this nice quilt here, and of course the obligatory room key, number 203. Now let's check out the view from the window of my sea view room. Oh gosh, I hope this is not it. Ah, phew, there it is, the sea view I had paid extra for. A beautiful look at the ocean. Now we will see if I can spot any ferries out of there later on. And I really do love these retro old travel posters. A big, large flat screen TV, and the standard hotel lamp, telephone and remote control, plus a baggage holder down there. Nice big floor-to-ceiling mirror, and let's go inside the bathroom. Wow, this really does look modern for an old building. An excellent shower, which really did work very well in the morning, and a soap dispenser all provided there. Nice mixer tap, so there's none of those ghastly rain shower things. Plenty of towels. A spare loo roll, which is always good to see, as sometimes they don't provide it, and a shaving plug. After a nap and rest and shower at the hotel, it was time to head back out in the beautiful evening twilight at the marina. You can see the citadel up there on the hill behind, with the last rays of sun peering over the mountains, and the towers of the St. John Baptiste Church are beautifully illuminated. And the Corsican moon is hanging out, just up there, with the red harbour lights, flashing on and off. It gives that nice nautical feel. It's totally dead silent here. Now I'm starving, so it's time to check out all the busy bars and restaurants. But oh no, that eerie silence does not bode well. I had earmarked this one first of all for a pizza, but alas, it's closed. So let's check out the one next door. Alright, no signs of life here either. The sushi bar and restaurant does have 2 people in, but alas, I do not like sushi. And not looking good. Everything further down here is pitch black. This one has a little more life, and even 2 diners inside. However, it's not really the menu I was looking for tonight. And Le Jean Bart, which we saw earlier, is totally closed. I've started to get concerned that my plan for a pizza is going out of the window. But it's not the fault of the resort, it's my fault for travelling to places off-season. And just as I thought all options had been exhausted, I spy what I was looking for, a pizzeria. I finally found it, an excellent pizza with anchovies, ideal for my seafaring voyage. The price for both the pizza and here a local Pietra beer from Corsica was only €18.20, a great bargain, and it tasted absolutely delicious. What I can't for the life of me work out is why there are 2 beers in this shot. Maybe the other was my imaginary friend. As promised then, for a nightcap after the meal, a final Pietra to watch and take in the atmosphere of the Bastia football game. And watching the football, a beer here was only €4. Sadly, however, luck was not on Bastia's side, and there were some miserable faces at the end of the night, as Bastia lost 1-0 to Nice. I didn't get to take a video of me in the café due to all the people around, so you will have to make do of this picture instead of me trying to blend in with the locals. And before going to bed, a bid good night to the island's most famous resident, Napoleon Bonaparte. And as I make the final approach back to the hotel, just to run through the costs I spent today. The train €10, hotel €65, lunch €13, meal €19, making a total of €106. A good day out. Back in my room with a guidebook to Bastia for bedtime reading, you get one final look around the facilities of my Seaview modern room here at the Hotel Ponte Leccia. Ironically, a radiator here which I'd forgot to try to turn on. Anyhow, it's time to say goodnight to you all from the beautiful island of Corsica. It's almost midnight, and another Corsica Sardinia ferry service pulls out towards Toulon. And back on the ferry is a clue to what I'll be doing tomorrow. But alas, I am not travelling back to Toulon. You will have to tune in to episode 4 to find that out. So with that, thank you for watching Carl's Travel Channel. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.